Step back in time to an era shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The Dark Age Britain. This was a time of transformation and resilience, a time when legends like King Arthur were etched into the annals of history. In the heart of this enigmatic epoch, a society thrived amidst adversity, a people whose spirit was as unyielding as the rocky cliffs of their homeland. This is the stage upon which our exploration unfolds, a stage set by the echoes of ancient battles, the whispers of old tales, and the silent testament of time-worn ruins. Prepare to immerse yourself in a world where the daily grind was a testament to human endurance, where every sunrise brought new struggles and every sunset marked another day of survival. This is the world of Dark Age Britain, a world that will captivate your imagination and challenge your perceptions of the past. The fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century marked a significant turning point in the history of Britain. The departure of the Romans left a power vacuum that set the stage for a period of significant change and uncertainty. This era, often referred to as the Dark Ages, was not dark due to a lack of enlightenment or progress, but rather due to the scarcity of historical records that make this period somewhat obscure to us today. The Roman withdrawal was not an abrupt event, but a gradual process. As the empire's influence waned, the protective hand that had once governed Britain and maintained its infrastructure was slowly withdrawn. The Roman legions, the administrators, and the bureaucrats left, taking with them the stability and order they had imposed. In the wake of this withdrawal, Britain found itself on the brink of a new era. The societal and political structures that the Romans had established began to crumble, giving way to new systems of governance and societal organization. The centralized Roman administration was replaced by smaller regional kingdoms, each with its own ruler and system of governance. These kingdoms were often in conflict with each other, vying for power and territory. This was a time of warriors and kings, a time when the strength of a kingdom was often measured by the might of its army. Yet, amidst this turmoil and strife, the seeds of a new society were being sown. The onset of the Dark Ages was also marked by significant cultural changes. The Latin language and Roman customs, once prevalent, began to fade, replaced by a resurgence of native British traditions and the introduction of new cultural influences from the Germanic tribes settling in Britain. The beginning of the Dark Ages was therefore a time of significant transition. It was an era marked by the end of Roman rule and the emergence of new political, societal, and cultural landscapes. It was a time of change and adaptation, a time when the foundations of what would become medieval Britain were laid. The daily life in Dark Age Britain was a testament to the resilience and adaptability of its people. Amidst the backdrop of societal and political upheaval, the inhabitants of Britain carried on with their lives, adapting to the changing times and carving out a living from the land and sea. Occupations during this period were largely dictated by the environment and the needs of the community. Agriculture was the mainstay of the economy, with most people engaged in farming. They cultivated crops such as wheat, barley, and oats, and raised livestock including cattle, sheep, and pigs. The work was hard and the hours were long, with the changing seasons dictating the rhythm of life. In addition to farming, other occupations included blacksmithing, carpentry, weaving, and pottery. These craftspeople played a vital role in the community, providing essential goods and services. Trade also played a significant role in the economy, with goods such as wool, grain, and metalwork being exchanged both locally and with distant lands. Societal roles were largely defined by gender and status. Men were typically responsible for heavy labor and defense, while women were tasked with domestic duties and raising children. However, women also played a crucial role in farming and craft work. The societal hierarchy was complex, with kings and nobles at the top, freemen and farmers in the middle, and slaves at the bottom. Living conditions varied greatly depending on status and wealth. The majority of people lived in small thatched houses made from wattle and daub. These houses were often single-roomed, with a central hearth for cooking and warmth. The diet was simple but nutritious, consisting mainly of bread, porridge, vegetables, and meat, supplemented by dairy products and ale. Clothing was practical and functional, designed to provide protection from the elements. It was made from wool or linen and consisted of tunics and cloaks for men and long dresses for women. Shoes were made from leather, and jewelry, often crafted from bronze or silver, was worn by both men and women. Amidst the hardships and unpredictabilities of the Dark Ages, the British people showed an amazing capacity for adaptation and success. Their daily lives, while often challenging, were also filled with moments of joy, camaraderie, and resilience. They celebrated the changing seasons, marked life's milestones, and shared stories and songs that echoed their hopes, fears, and dreams. In their struggles and triumphs, we see a reflection of the enduring human spirit, a testament to our capacity to persevere and adapt in the face of adversity. However, life in Dark Age Britain was far from easy. The people faced numerous challenges and hardships, from wars and conflicts to diseases and economic struggles. Yet it was their ability to endure these adversities that defined their character and shaped their society. Wars and conflicts were a common occurrence during this period. The power vacuum left by the fall of the Roman Empire led to a rise in regional kingdoms, each vying for control and dominance. This often resulted in violent conflicts and battles, causing loss of life and destruction. The constant threat of war meant that people lived in a state of uncertainty and fear, never knowing when their lives might be upended by a sudden attack. Disease was another significant challenge. Without the advancements in medicine and healthcare we have today, illnesses that are easily treatable now could be deadly then. Epidemics could sweep through communities, leaving devastation in their wake. The lack of understanding about diseases and their causes often led to fear and superstition, adding to the psychological burden of the people. Economic hardships were also a part of daily life. While agriculture provided a livelihood for many, it was a life of hard work with often meager returns. Bad weather, poor harvests, or livestock disease could plunge a family into poverty. Trade provided some opportunities for economic growth, but it also brought risks and uncertainties. Living in these uncertain times also brought psychological and emotional struggles. The constant threat of war, disease, and poverty could lead to stress and anxiety. The societal changes and upheavals could cause confusion and a sense of loss. Yet amidst these struggles, the people of Dark Age Britain found ways to cope and persevere. Navigating through the complexities of the Dark Ages, a figure emerged whose legend transcends time and space. The legend of King Arthur, a figure shrouded in myth and mystery, has long captivated the imagination of people far beyond the shores of Britain. This legendary king and his fabled court of Camelot are said to have reigned during the Dark Ages, providing a beacon of hope and chivalry in a time of uncertainty and upheaval. King Arthur, as the tales tell us, was a leader of exceptional virtue and bravery. His exploits, along with those of his Knights of the Round Table, were said to embody the ideals of justice, honor, and nobility. These stories, passed down through generations, have left an indelible mark on the cultural fabric of Britain and beyond. The influence of the Arthurian legend on the period is profound. While there is ongoing debate among historians about the historical accuracy of King Arthur, the impact of the mythos is undeniable. The tales of Arthur's heroic deeds and noble character provided a model of leadership and moral conduct. They offered a vision of a just and fair society, a stark contrast to the often harsh realities of the Dark Ages. The Arthurian legend also had a significant societal impact. It fostered a sense of shared identity and cultural pride among the people of Britain. The stories served as a unifying force, offering a common narrative that transcended regional differences and social divisions. Moreover, the legend of King Arthur has had a lasting influence on literature, art, and popular culture. From medieval romances to modern films and novels, the Arthurian tales continue to be reimagined and retold, each interpretation reflecting the values and concerns of its time. Just as every sun must set, so too must every age draw to a close. The end of the Dark Ages was not marked by a singular event, but rather a series of political, cultural, and societal changes that gradually transformed Britain from a collection of disparate kingdoms into a more unified nation. Politically, the Dark Ages saw a constant power struggle among regional kingdoms. However, over time, some kingdoms began to consolidate power, leading to the formation of larger, more stable political entities. This process of consolidation was a significant factor in the transition from the Dark Ages to the Middle Ages. The establishment of more centralized forms of governance provided a level of stability and order that had been lacking in the preceding centuries. Culturally, the Dark Ages were a time of significant change and adaptation. The blending of native British and incoming Germanic cultures created a new cultural landscape. The Christian Church also played a crucial role in this cultural transformation. The spread of Christianity provided a unifying force that helped to bridge cultural and linguistic divides. Societally, the end of the Dark Ages saw changes in social structures and norms. The rigid societal hierarchy began to become more fluid, with increased social mobility. Trade and commerce also expanded, leading to economic growth and the development of towns. The transition from the Dark Ages to the subsequent historical period was thus a gradual process, marked by significant political, cultural, and societal changes. It was a time of transformation and growth, a time when the foundations of modern Britain were being laid. The end of the Dark Ages did not mean the end of challenges or hardships, but it marked the beginning of a new chapter in Britain's history, one that would see the nation continue to evolve and adapt in the face of changing times. In the tapestry of Dark Age Britain, we've traced the threads of relentless change and resilience. The inhabitants of this era, confronted with formidable challenges from relentless wars to devastating diseases and economic instability, showcased an extraordinary ability to adapt, shaping their society and culture in response to the shifting tides of time. This era, often cloaked in enigma, stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of the British people. Their narrative is one of survival and dogged determination, of a society that refused to be overshadowed by adversity, choosing instead to evolve and flourish. Appreciating this period in history enriches our understanding of Britain's intricate past. It underscores the notion that a nation's identity is sculpted not solely by its triumphs, but also by its trials. Thank you for accompanying us on this exploration. If this journey through Dark Age Britain has sparked your curiosity, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more historical insights.